in the middle of the summer, it's super fucking hot. So we have all the windows open at night because we don't want to deal with running the AC and that shit. Instead of like a screen door, we have a security gate so we can keep the door open to get more airflow. But we'll keep that open. And one day we're sitting there watching TV and I look over and there's a fucking raccoon at the security gate, like with its fucking paws, like on the gate, like looking inside.
Was he in mid-climb? Like he was trying to...
No, he wasn't climbing. He was just like standing there. Like he was just looking inside to see what the fuck we were doing. Like, hey, what are you guys up to?
Hey, what's up, homie? Like, hey,
what's up, homie?
Come here, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
well, no love? You ain't gonna show me no love, Stella?
Yes, Cisco
that one
the
night
raccoon.
in college, you and I smoked the doobie? You don't remember that? Wasn't your imagination. I was real, motherfucker.
In a world of bad movies, two follically challenged men will stop at nothing to share their opinions of them. Their wives are tired of listening. But are you? This isn't the podcast you deserve, but it's the one you need. Prepare yourself for Bald Guys and Bad Movies.
Welcome to Bald Guys and Bad Movies, episode 43. I am Troy, here with my buddy
Mike Stella.
Hey, Stella!
Mike Stella, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Troy?
I'm fine. Now, Mike, something nearly awful happened to you. You gave me this story. Can you tell the listeners?
Oh, yeah. So the trim, like this little chrome trim on the front of my grill broke off and I had to replace it. It showed up last night.
Wait. What's the make and model of that car? Because there was a hit and run I saw on the news last night.
2012 Honda Odyssey.
That wasn't you, was it?
It definitely was not me.
It wasn't like never mind, splash of blood. A finger?
Nope.
A finger sticking out of the grill? Okay.
Nope, no hair or anything like that. Deer going. Or otherwise, no.
All right.
And so I got the piece that I needed. Well, for one thing, I had got my oil changed like a week ago. Then I looked a little further, found it for $56 on Amazon. I did my own personal sound system back in my 20s. And this is at night, right? It's full dark. I have a flashlight that I'm using to look down into the engine under the hood, the engine compartment.
I just gotta jump in. I'm mentally editing this as you talk, but go ahead.
Okay, perfect. It's gonna need it.
Like, okay, I'll just let him go. Go ahead.
I hear this rustling off to the right. I'm like, what the hell? And I look over. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I shine the light in that direction. I'm thinking it's a raccoon, maybe a possum. You know, we got lots of raccoons, lots of possums. I look over, it's a fucking skunk in Santa Monica, a skunk. And I'm like, oh shit.
And this is a full adult skunk?
It's a big ass fucking skunk, dude. It's a full on skunk. I'm like, oh shit. I jump up, I run away because the last thing I want is to get sprayed by this fucking skunk.
Now, how far, give me feet, how far away was this skunk from you?
6 feet. 7 feet.
And you were at ground level. You were like on your knees.
No, it was like he was there. Yeah, we were on the same. Yeah, it was in my driveway, and he was like right off to the side.
So you looked over, right you were like, huh? And he went, huh?
I was like, oh shit, it's a fucking skunk. And I ran back to the door, and I was like shining my flashlight at it to hopefully get it to run away, right?
Did it work?
Yeah.
It ran away?
He ran back around the side. Dude, so I have this little like 3-inch gap maybe underneath my gate, my side gate to my backyard. He straight squished under the fucking gate.
Oh.
They're
squishy.
Skunks, they're just like a cat. And we're like, what the fuck is digging these goddamn holes? I'm like, I want to get one of those like cameras to like look to see what's digging the holes.
Skunk cam.
I looked it up. I'm like, do skunks dig holes? And apparently they do. They dig holes to look for grubs.
Wait, you did say holes.
Holes.
I thought you said hose.
Hose.
Yeah.
Dig hose?
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, it's like, well, Pepe Le Pew, he dug some hose. You know what I mean? Like, he dug those hose. He was all about the hose. You know what I mean?
So we are reviewing, Mike, The Last of Us, episode 3 and 4.
That's right.
Now, for you guys that aren't in the know, actually, you should not be listening to this if you don't even know what The Last of Us is.
Really don't.
Because it is Just know it's amazing. And
Except for you, Mom. Mom, you can listen. Because if you're never going to watch a show, you might as well listen.
Is she not watching?
Go ahead and listen.
Is she not watching the show? Do you know?
Yeah, she was like, oh, Pedro Pascal? That sounds really good. Ooh, this looks really good. And she's like, I just watched like a trailer. It looks really creepy. I don't think I'm going to watch this.
Oh, does she get freaked out? Yeah. Mom, I would say, back me up here, Mike. So far, episode 2 is probably the creepiest.
Yeah, it was creepy.
And it's not creepy all throughout, but there's enough.
3 was so incredibly sweet. 2 was creepy as shit. 1 was fucked up. 4 is, I don't know.
4 is not
too bad.
creepy. It's
not too intense, not too creepy.
The Last of Us is an American post-apocalyptic television series created by Greg Mason and Neil Druckmann for HBO, based on the 2013 video game developed by Naughty Dog. The series is set in 2023, 20 years into a global pandemic caused by a mass fungal infection, which forces its hosts to transform to zombie-like creatures and collapses society. The series follows Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, a smuggler tasked with escorting the teenage Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, across a post-apocalyptic United States.
Yep.
So, let's get into it. Episode 3. It's so silly. Would you recommend? Yes, absolutely.
For these episodes we're going to be doing where we talk about The Last of Us, I think Troy and I are just going to say we recommend them. For people who don't like the whole tired zombie sort of like genre, this is the show to watch because it is a character drama that is so well done that, like every good movie or show, just happens to be set in a zombie apocalypse.
Right. And I couldn't have said it better, although I'll try. No, I'll add to that. Where The Walking Dead, for me, especially near, I gave up on it, like, after Negan showed up. But it so relied on that zombie aesthetic. And again, I've said before in the previous review of this, to put the name zombie on this is to do a disservice to what this is.
I would have to agree.
This is more about people surviving something devastating. And yes, that thing does produce, zombie-like creatures, but they're not like around every fucking corner, right? It's not a constant thing. They're there, but it's more the people, which is something The Walking Dead touched on, but they really did beat you over the head with the zombie thing. Walking Dead, you got to know people as they were running from their lives constantly.
Right.
There are many quiet moments of Last. And when I say quiet, I don't mean like it's boring, but they're searching a building. They're camping out, and people are allowed to talk and reveal bit by bit things about themselves in a natural character building, organic way. And I will say episode 3, with the exception of maybe the first 20 minutes, which did have Joel and Ellie, most of it was not about them at all. I love that episode.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, long time. That's the name of it. So let's start with the game. Bill is a character in the game that you meet, and he's this survivalist in the town. I don't want to say half crazy, but he's on a precipice, right?
Yeah, he's on the edge. He's a doomsday prepper, obsessed with guns and setting traps and this and that. They do a good job in the game of suggesting that he has a partner, right? They call him his partner.
His partner, Frank. Yeah.
And it's his gay lover. Because in the game, it's really just a quick sort of segment where you get to load up with your weapons, and he gives you a little bit of like intel on the whole situation, and then you move on. And then you find Frank later on after you leave Bill, and he's hung himself because he got bit.
Frank left Bill because they had an argument or whatever.
Yes.
And Bill didn't know what happened to him. And then you find him later. However, in the show, he serves an entirely different purpose.
He gives humanity to the whole situation. The fact that every single person you're going to come across in this show is dictated by love.
I was reading a review and someone nailed it. I had actually thought about this when I was thinking about what I'm saying. It's like the intro of Up.
Oh.
Up did such a wonderful, masterful job of giving you an entire life.
In 10 minutes.
And this episode is 20 years?
Yeah.
They give you 20 years of these two men, how they met, some of the big points throughout their lives.
Yep.
Up until the end, which was just devastating. Like, if your mom watches that, she'll probably cry.
It was devastating, but also so incredibly sweet.
Yeah. They went out on their own terms, and they went out loving each other. What is this episode really about? Bill, a survivalist, living in a town by himself, basically. He's managed to avoid the government.
Well, he's a doomsday prepper. He has a bunker. He has cameras. After Fedra clears everyone out of the town that he's in.
To kill them, by the way, because they ran out of space. So under the guise of taking you to camp, they would just kill you, because why take the risk of having more people getting infected?
Turning into zombies.
Right.
Exactly.
And Bill missed that.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Not today, you New World Order jackboot fucks.
4 years later, he's been there a long time. He's fortified that little section of the town or whatever.
Yeah. So what Bill does, he goes, after everyone's gone, he goes to Home Depot and ransacks it and gets everything he needs to build a compound and fortify his area, setting booby traps, setting up electrified fences. Somewhere along the way, Frank wanders into his area and falls into one of his pits. And he's fine because these pits are made for zombies, so they don't need to have spikes to kill people or anything. Those booby traps are closer to the electrified fence. He's already given up on humanity. He said he was happy to see the world die because he didn't like anyone in the world anyways. So when he finds this guy, he finds Frank. At first, he's like, you need to go on your merry way. You need to go. And he's like, well, I'm starving and I twisted my ankle. Can I come in? Like, can you feed me? Do you have any food?
If I feed you, then every bum you talk to about it is gonna show up here looking for a free lunch. And this is not an Arby's.
Well, Arby's didn't have free lunch. It was a restaurant.
He's like, okay, he feeds them and stuff. And he realizes
Well, he feeds them. I guess he makes the food as he would make for himself. It looks like pheasant.
Gourmet.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
this
the
ain't
menu.
no ravioli. This is like a fucking gourmet like dish with garnish almost, right? So and wine.
He's like, go figure I'd run into someone who would know to pair pair rabbit with a whatever type of wine that he says. I thought that was a pretty funny little line.
Do you think at that point, Bill, he made that food for him, like that lavish dish, because that's just what he does? Or did he do it because he was already like
trying to impress him?
Attracted to him, but in his own way, this is how...
I do think he was attracted to him from the jump, because why would he let him in? But it's not just that he was attracted to him. I think he also realized that Frank was attracted to him, and he was gay, and he had never had a chance to experience that.
It's kind of an incel. It sounds like.
No, he wasn't really an incel.
He said he had one girl once, but nobody.
Well,
and then he lived with his mom too, right? Like that's what.
But that's the whole thing. He got with one girl, but he's also gay. He got with her because of, pressure from the world to be heterosexual. I mean, and he's in the middle of podunk fucking America where they look down on fucking...
But this is why he's such a good character, because what you're saying is true. He fucking hates the world. Does he hate the world because he's a survivalist and kind of extreme? Or does he hate the world because who he really is, he's afraid to show?
All of that, Troy.
You could be gay and be an incel, right?
But he's grown up in a society in the Midwest, right? Where it's not okay to be gay. Because remember, he was there for the outbreak in 2003. So that was 20 years ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
That shit, it's a whole different world. Not only is he bitter because he must know that he is gay at that point, because he's an adult. He's gone through puberty. He knows that he is a homosexual.
The girl encounter probably didn't go the way he hoped it would go because of who he is.
Because he's gay.
Right.
He doesn't fucking actually want to do it. He feels pressured, like that's what he's supposed to be doing. And he's trying to force something that isn't right. That isn't actually who he is, right? And then for this man to come along and be his,
Savior, essentially.
his perfect puzzle piece that fits.
Oh, and then the piano was a nice moment.
yeah.
When Frank he plays the piano and sings horribly, and Bill's like, no, please stop that.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that he's a really good piano player.
Yeah,
in real life.
yeah.
Yeah.
When Bill plays the piano and sings,
Yep.
and sings well, Frank actually starts to cry. And I
Yep.
think that's where he begins to actually fall for him. Like more than just booty call.
That might be the case, but listening to the podcast, like before they even eat dinner, he talks about like the fact that he's waiting for the dinner to be served, and he's over by the mantle, and he walks over and he sees dust, and he like scrapes his finger along the dust. He's like, wow, it's really dirty here. And he's like, I could have a purpose here.
Okay, that's one thing. I have a purpose here, and that purpose serves my purpose. Because I'm hungry. This guy has lots of food. What I'm saying is when he plays at piano, he starts to fucking cry. I think is the moment, at least from what I glean, that there's more than just a survival. There's a role for me here to save my own ass.
Sure. I agree with that, but there is also something that happened before that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's that for me, the piano moment is the final key turn. Like that there's a soul. That guy has a beautiful soul.
I do think you hit a point there. It's the final key turn.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is the moment. There were breadcrumbs leading up to that. I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, though, in Frank's mind, yeah, there is a connection here. But in my mind, I'm thinking also, there's also opportunity for me. If this works out, this could be great for me, right? This is
right.
There's a bit of self-serving.
Sure.
But it's the world they live in. Why wouldn't it be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I'm saying, the moment he plays that beautiful song and sings,
it clenches it.
He cries, right? And it touches him in a way that he probably didn't expect. He didn't expect this guy.
And he's like, I was right.
I was right. And this could be even more
than I ever thought it could be.
Than just saving my ass, right? And making it work. This could actually be a beautiful thing. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And I just love the jump, like the 4-year jump to them arguing like an old fucking married couple.
No,
it's so fucking good.
Get it right.
Dude.
They're in bed and old Bill's about to get serviced, and they go from that first act of love, jump cut, to them fucking fighting.
Oh, fuck you! Come on! Hey, would you stop?
Do I ask for things? Ever? Why am I even saying that? This isn't for me. This is for us.
Who cares what they look like?
I do. Our home isn't just our house. It's everything around us.
Give me a fucking break.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I live in this world. You live in a psycho bunker where 9/11 was an inside job and the government are all Nazis.
The government are all Nazis!
Well, yeah, now, but not then.
They're fighting because Frank, through the radio, found Tess and Joel, and he wants to spruce the place up. And of course, Bill is like, why do we even we don't need guests. We don't need these people or whatever. Which leads to a nice return of Tess and Joel and them having a very awkward dinner by gunpoint.
Can you not, please?
I'm the same way.
Oh, you're a paranoid schizophrenic too?
I'm not schizophrenic.
That
was pretty funny.
Bill's pointing a gun at Joel during the whole dinner. Bill didn't like Joel, but he respected and understood who Joel was. A protector.
The protector, yeah. We jump to some
raiders.
Some raiders trying to get in. They get killed.
It was pretty awesome seeing those traps work.
Yes, those traps were good.
Yeah.
Bill gets shot during the raiders coming in, and the last shot we see is Bill getting patched up, and Frank like, oh, just hold that there. We're gonna get you. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Bill thinks he's dying, so he's telling Frank, look, this is where I keep this. This is where I keep that.
He's like, call
Joel. Yeah,
because he will help you.
Right.
He will make sure that you get through this.
Then he passes out, and you're like, oh shit, did he die? And then
10 years later, and Frank is the one who has some sort of disease,
ALS or
cancer, ALS, MS, some sort of degenerative disease.
Also, like, I just want to add this in, another masterclass of visual storytelling. Frank has been painting. Wonderful
right.
painter, but you see as his condition gets worse,
Yeah.
the paintings, like one half of the face, the lines are squiggly.
Yep.
Which is the day, that was the day before he decides this is it. Because it was probably like the last thing he enjoyed doing. And now even that is gone, right? And the guy could barely like lift food to his mouth.
He wakes up one day and he's like, I want to have a great day and do this and do that and do this and do that. And at the end of the day, you're going to give me some wine that has a shitload of fucking,
He also,
like,
he wants to get
painkillers.
married.
Oh, yeah, he wants to get married. And then I want a shitload of painkillers. And then I'm going to go to sleep after a wonderful dinner. And that'll be it. And so Frank does all that. Or Bill, which one is which? God damn it!
Bill,
I don't fucking know.
Frank is sick, and Bill.
Okay, Bill does all that
reluctantly
for
at
Frank.
first, but he goes along with it.
He's like upset. He's like, I don't want to fucking do that, right? He brings out the bottle of wine that has all the
dope, the pills,
the dope in
whatever.
it to kill him, and he grabs 2 glasses and fills them up. They're both going out today, and he's like, He's like, what are you doing? And he's like,
This isn't the tragic suicide at the end of the play. I'm old. I'm satisfied. And you were my purpose.
he's like, I've lived a great life. I'm good. I've won this.
Right.
And I don't want to live if I don't have you to live with, because life is not worth living without you. Because at one point I hated the world and I was so happy for everyone to die. But then I learned that there was one person in this world worth saving, and it was you. And if you're gone, I don't want to be here anymore. So they drink the dope and they go off to bed one last time, and they die in each other's arms. And it's amazingly sweet.
It was beautiful. And then Joel and Ellie arrive and find a letter. It tells Joel,
Oh, don't go into the room. Take whatever the hell you want, but don't come into the room.
I left the window open.
Yep, so
it'll air out.
So it'll air out and won't smell in the house. Take whatever you want and go on your merry way.
Oh, but that's not all he said. He said something very important, which is going to play in later.
What'd he say?
I used to hate the world, and I was happy when everyone died. But I was wrong, because there was one person worth saving. That's what I did. I saved him. Then I protected him. That's why men like you and me are here. We have a job to do. And God help any motherfuckers who stand in our way.
Maybe my first critique of this show, and it's a tiny one. So he says, essentially, I'm leaving you all this so you could take care of Tess. Tess is already gone at that point.
So what's your critique?
My critique is this. I kind of wish that Tess hadn't told Joel what she told him. Do some good. Save her.
Oh, right.
Save the girl. Make it right. We've done all this bad. So now it's been reinforced twice. Protect the ones you love. I just felt like it would be much more powerful if that message came just from Bill. If Joel was
I don't know,
still
man. Like,
wrestling with if he should deal with this girl or not, and then that is the tipping point for him.
We've both played the game. We know where it's going. I think what they are doing is setting up the end of the show of season 1 to be a complete and utter gut punch. That's what they're doing. They want to truly reinforce that, so when it finally happens, you're like, fuck, that was fucking wrong, even though I understand why he did it.
The home screen for the first game, is an open window, I believe. Yep. I felt a connection between that and that shot out of their bedroom window.
Well, they actually said that they wanted to start every episode with a shot of an open window, but they just weren't able to. But also, in that episode, though, at the very end, Ellie's like, oh, can I get a gun? There's tons of them. And he's like, no.
Oh, that's very important. Yeah.
And she happens to come along to finding Frank's gun that's hidden somewhere and puts it in her bag, unbeknownst to Joel.
Right. And that happened in episode 3. So she is armed.
Yes.
That was episode 3. Fantastic fucking episode, dude. They've done a great job of honoring the game and surprising you with subtle things, tweaks here and there. But this was taking a minor side character,
right,
and elevating him beyond a point where it stands alone. Well, let's get into episode 4. 4 is called Please Hold to My Hand. We're back focused to Joel and Ellie. They have taken Bill's car with his gay porn in the back.
And guns.
So 4, it's almost like a partial road movie, right? They're in a truck, they're driving. This is the moment where they can really start to connect.
Yes.
And bond and have actual conversation. And I love the joke book.
Oh.
What's the one joke? One joke cracks Joel up, and I actually laughed too.
Joel, did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
What?
Yeah. It runs in your genes.
That is so goddamn stupid.
You laughed, motherfucker.
I didn't laugh.
Yes, you did.
Jesus, I'm losing it.
You're losing it big time.
Would you say that was the first time Joel had laughed in years?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine he and Tess having laughter. Probably sad, drunk sex, and that's about it.
He full on laughed. Yeah.
Like the laugh where I don't want to laugh. Okay, I'll laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta laugh some more. All right, that's fucking stupid. What?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's a nice episode because, after 3 episodes with so much packed into it, it feels like it slows it down in a good way where we could just focus on these 2.
Absolutely.
They stop at a place where he stashed something, and Ellie separates, and she finds in the basement there is a zombie embedded in the growth.
The one stuck in the, yeah.
And she takes the knife and kind of slowly cuts it.
Stabs it into his eye.
It's giving little subtle, there's some darkness there, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this version of Ellie, the darkness is a little bit more apparent?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the game. You played the game more recently.
I feel like the game does a better job of having it just seep through with and having it be more subtle. The game does a great job of with the subtlety of Ellie slowly becoming dark. This one is very oh, look at that darkness. Look at the darkness. Oh, did you see that? Did you see what Ellie just did? Did you see how Ellie just reacted? Take note. That's a big deal.
So is it done badly, or are you just in comparison to the game? If you hadn't played the game
is subtle as fuck. Because the game, I feel like we didn't get to the point where we are now in the show. We didn't get to that point in the game, until after the end of the first game, in my opinion.
Oh, you mean in terms of her darkness,
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Her darkness really seeps in the second game. In the first game, not so much.
But you can't wait, though, I think.
Yeah. I think they did a good job because they really need to start introducing it right away.
So it's not done badly. You're just saying it's
different,
accelerated, and more in your face.
Yep.
Now, speaking of darkness, they get bushwhacked. This happens in the game as well. In a truck, and a bunch of raiders, a bunch of assholes force them out the road, and then there's a fight. And in the game, like with a lot of stuff that's already happened, there's just a lot of you shooting and killing things. I feel like I was a little let down by this moment with Joel protecting Ellie and the Raiders.
Really?
Because I feel like we've heard about Joel being a blunt instrument. And we've heard about how skilled he is. And he is the guy to call on. I'm not saying I wanted Joel to be John Wick. But I feel like if I had at least 2 or 3 more guys for him to fucking brutally kill, because that one guy, that skinny ass teenager, got the jump on him. He shot those 2 guys, and then suddenly he's overcome by this wet fart of a raider. I was like, come on, man, forget the game. You've built this guy up to be a fucking brute when it comes to violence.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone sneaks up on you, what can you do?
Right,
he's there.
You can have the sneak up moment. But I wanted a little bit more of Joel being a fucking killing fools, dude. At least 4 guys. You know what I mean? To the point where Ellie's like, God damn. This is what I've been hearing about.
Sure. I could see that.
I felt it was a little weak. But that's my only critique for the episode. So the guy gets a drop on him, and there the gun comes out.
Well, what I will say I did like, though, was the fact that they gave so much more personality to the people they're fighting.
Yes.
That was great.
Which is something the second game did really well. These aren't just fucking meat sacks for you to target practice.
Yep.
They scream, they cry for their friends. You're killing a soul. The kid was like begging for... Did he call for his mother?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's over. We're not fighting anymore. My mom isn't far. If you can get me to her, we can be friends. I didn't know. I'm Brian. What's your name? You can have it. It's a good knife.
Get back behind the wall.
No. I'm sorry. Please. We could just talk. I'm sorry. Please. No, please. Please. I'm sorry. Please. You know what I asked you. I'm sorry. No. We can just talk. Mom.
And Joel stabs him too, I think, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, like they talked about this in the podcast, that like you're expecting to hear like a pop, right, from the gun, but you don't, and you realize that he just like stabbed him.
Yeah.
He just fucking stabbed him to death.
So why did he stab him then?
Why do you think?
Because they don't want to attract...
Ammo is so scarce.
Oh.
It's like in the game, man.
I
Like,
thought it was for noise. Like he didn't want to draw more people.
well, that too.
Could have been both.
Yeah.
But that, I like it. Like,
Yeah.
that is Joel, right? Like, that is Joel.
Absolutely.
I don't mind it happening off screen. It's more effective. You were from Ellie's
Totally.
perspective, and you hear the...
Totally.
And there's a lot more show to go. So, and, we know where this goes, so the killing machine may show up. There's a new character. I had to look this up because I couldn't remember if this character actually existed.
Well, they were saying that in the game, they were basically just an obstacle we had to get past.
Right.
But in the show, they could give them
A face.
a purpose,
Yeah.
give them faces, give them characters, and make the show better for it.
Again, these are all real people, and there's consequences, and there are sides to everything, right?
Which I think will really do a great job leading into season 2. And to tell you the truth, I wonder if season 2 should be split into two, like the second game should be 2 seasons.
Probably, because it is... Well, I remember I said they're going to do 3 seasons. I wonder if that's what they're going to do. Because
I haven't beat the second game yet, so I don't know how it ends. So don't fucking ruin it.
No, I'm not. No,
Don't say anything.
But if they wanted to wrap the series up with that ending, it's completely appropriate. So, but yeah,
Stop ruining it, Troy.
No, I didn't say anything. I'm just saying I'm agreeing with you. Like, because the second game,
spoilers.
the second game is massive.
No spoilers.
And it's not massive just because of the amount you can do, which is a lot, but the story.
Yeah, it's good.
Really complex.
It's a great story.
And with 2 female protagonists / antagonists. So
Yep.
I don't know if that's ever been done.
It's good.
But anyway,
You don't know who to root for,
So this Kathleen is a new character. She didn't exist in the game, but she is a leader of the group that's in this town that bushwhacked.
That doesn't actually have a name.
They're anti-Fedra. So Kathleen, their leader, is a formed...
Pretty lame name.
Kathleen.
No, anti-Fedra.
She concludes that her enemies, including Henry, who is in the game,
Yes.
who she believes gave up her brother to be executed, are responsible for contracting the killers, Joel and Ellie. They haven't found them. So basically they're searching the town, the people that Joel killed and Ellie shot. Oh, that's another nice conversation. We can't skip over the conversations because Joel, he is really starting to open up.
Yes.
And he's very bad at it because it's been a long time since he's been a father to anyone.
Yep.
But he's had a conversation with Ellie about shooting that guy.
Thing is I didn't hear that guy coming. He shouldn't have had to. When you're just a kid. I know what it's like. First time that you hurt someone like that. If you, I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you really aren't.
And he's trying to comfort her. And she says, well, it's not my first. And she begins to, there's some tears she wipes away. And he makes a statement though, it's just not right for you to be so young and have to deal with all this. So clear bonding going on.
Yep.
You can see it blossoming. And the episode concludes with them hiding from Kathleen, who shoots her doctor, by the way. That was a nice scene.
Oh, that was a good scene.
I delivered you. And the fact
I delivered you, Kathleen.
it worked the first time.
Yep.
I like she's not expected. Like even her physicality.
Yep.
The way she talks. You don't expect her to be a leader. Also, the guy with the beard, dude. The guy with the beard. You know who he is?
Tommy.
He's the voice of fucking Tommy, dude. So that was nice.
He looked great. He was good.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy should be in more shit. Like,
Yeah.
visual. He was great. Like,
Yeah, total. Like I could see him easily being in Sicario, like
Yeah.
one of the Sicario movies. You know, he's a shoe-in for something like that.
grizzled.
Grizzled motherfucker just taking down fucking mafia guys.
He maybe could have played either Bill or Frank, possibly. Oh, they find the ground heaving, which I think
at the
is
very end.
why you're looking forward to the next one, right? Because the next one's going to be a lot of shooting and killing and zombies, and not just zombies, but I think we're going to get our first look at a bloater.
First bloater.
So the episode ends with Joel and Ellie. They climb up to a building as high as they can go to be safe. That's where the diarrhea joke comes into play. And Joel wakes up and there's guns being held on them. And it is the character of Henry and his brother Sam. What do you rate these episodes? I feel like rating it is dumb.
Just watch it. There's no need to rate it. Watch it.
We'll rate the entire series.
Yes. Watch the show. It is awesome. HBO hasn't made a show this good in years. It's phenomenal.
There's really nothing quite like it.
Phenomenal.
On TV.
Bum, ba, ba, da, da.
You're fucking tired.
And drunk.
Are you drunk? Really?
Yeah.
Did you just get drunk from the start of this podcast? Or you signed on drunk?
No, I signed on like buzzed.
Oh.
Then I drank.
Have you been
2
drinking?
more beers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what's your excuse? You should have been way more entertaining.
I'm sorry, Troy. I'm sorry.
Drunk?
Okay.
What the fuck? The bar is raised now, dude.
We used to have a lot of strays in my neighborhood. I haven't seen many lately.
Or maybe the fucking skunk is eating them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, they don't. No, they eat bugs. Like they don't eat like big animals, like large.
Like you. We'll
like,
test that
like
theory.
most human beings. Like, you know, like me. It has to be me.
Big animals, said the big animal.